Hello, it is Friday evening and we're back with you for another Destination Insight. This evening we will be taking on a topic that touches most people's hearts and lives. Almost everyone has been affected in some way with breast cancer, and this evening we'll be showing you how you can discover the signs of breast cancer and what you can do about it if you are experiencing any of the symptoms. We will also be finding out about Caris in Northern Ireland, which provides complementary care to patients and to families. It is situated in the beautiful scenic location overlooking the shores of Lough Fay. And someone who has had a first-hand experience of Caris is Margaret McAteer from Newry. Margaret was diagnosed with breast cancer in June 2012, and she joins us a little bit later on to share her journey of breast cancer and her experience at Caris Care. But first, let's have a look at breast cancer research. Cookstown in Northern Ireland is home to Caris Care Centre, offering support and advice to those who have been or are currently battling breast cancer. Margaret McAteer from right here in Newry has had first-hand experience with Caris after being diagnosed with breast cancer 2 years ago. Margaret, like so many other thousands, have found much relief in using the services available at Caris. Caris could receive £50,000 from the People Millions Northern Ireland and are just days away from finding out. However, they do need your votes. I had a chat with Imelda, Centre Director of Caris, and also the fantastic Margaret McAteer last week, and here they are. So, Margaret and Imelda join me now. How are you doing?
Good, thank you.
Good.
Very well, thank you.
So, Imelda, I'll speak to you first. You're the Centre Director up at Caris. For anybody who is listening in, the word Caris mightn't mean anything to them. Just tell me a bit about Caris and what you do there.
Caris is a complementary centre supporting anybody going through cancer journey and their families at any stage of the cancer journey, and anyone who's bereaved by cancer. We offer emotional, psychological, physical support, practical support as well to anybody going through this terrible disease.
And you say there any stage of the process with that. Do you provide aftercare as well?
We do. We provide the aftercare to both the person that's going through the cancer and their family members.
Yeah. So I mean, for the we often don't think about the families behind the person that's going through it. What support do you give to families and friends?
We give the exact same support to family and friends as we do to the person going through the cancer, and that's the complementary reflexology, aromatherapy, massage, dietary, financial, counselling, relaxation groups, yoga groups, Eat Smart groups, health and wellbeing groups, and art workshops.
There's a lot going on there up at the centre. There is a lot. And I have to point out that all of these are completely free for the client and for the families.
Everything's totally free. We treat men and women and from all over Northern Ireland, and everything at the centre is totally free.
How do you fund that then? It's there's so much happening.
We depend totally on public money. We're out fundraising all the time, and people are out fundraising for us all the time. We get money from no one.
What has been the response like from the people with fundraising?
Excellent, absolutely excellent, but we depend big time on more and more money. It costs about 300,000 to run CARS a year.
Okay.
So we depend on
Do you
all that.
often meet your target?
We try to always meet our target, but as I say, it's totally free to the clients coming through the door, and we want to continue to do that.
Absolutely, it's much needed. So I have to ask you, I mean, here in Northern Ireland, is it just the one centre, is it, at the moment?
CARS is the only centre, yes.
Where are you based?
We're based between Cookstown and Draperstown. We're overlooking Lough Fay. Very tranquil, peaceful place.
Beautiful. I mean, what's the atmosphere like up there?
It's absolutely gorgeous. There's no clinical reminders. It's just a big, homely, it's a 3-storey house, all done in soft music, candles, lights. It's just, we treat the person, we don't treat the cancer.
And it's up in Cookstown, which is quite a distance from Newry. However, I mean, Margaret here is from this area and travels up there, so it's a wide range of people that you're getting from Northern Ireland.
We have people from all over Northern Ireland, and they maintain it's because of what we do that they will travel.
Yeah.
With people that'll come and stay nearly the full day. Our treatments all last an hour, but people will come, have their lunch. We make teas, coffees, and it's in a homely environment. They can stay as long as they wish. We're open 9 to 5.
It's so worth the visit. So I have to ask you as well, I mean, the support that you provide there's so many different types of support that is available. I want to ask you first of all about the emotional support available. So how do you support people through emotion?
Well, I would do the initial assessment with everybody that comes through the door, and we would decide what was the best treatments recommended for themselves between myself and them. We have the counselling, and as I say, all the body therapies, all of this is good emotional support. We're at the end of the phone at any time for anyone. We become a family, really. We're not just, as I say, we're not there to treat the cancer, we're there to treat the person at all times.
And it sounds very individual as well,
It's
the way you said there, that the
individualised.
person is taken in and their needs are met
As
individually.
I say, it's their hour to look after themselves, to forget about the cancer. If they want to talk about it, fine. If they don't want to talk about it, that's also okay.
Yeah.
Each person's an individual and up at CARS.
Fantastic. And then another type of support is the physical support.
Yeah.
So what does this involve?
Again, it's the reflexology, aromatherapy, massage. All the complementary therapies really make a difference in people's lives. We have people going through chemotherapy that maybe have had nausea. This has helped people that can't sleep. So it's really helping the whole physical end, relaxation as well as everything else.
And then the third type is the practical support that's available.
Yeah, as I say, we have a lot of people going through cancer that maybe go onto the internet to look for things for dietary advice. We have an oncology dietitian up with ourselves who will offer that advice. Financial advice as well is another big thing where people may be out of work, their partner may have to go out of work. We offer all those services.
There's so much available up there.
It's a holistic approach we offer. But we work very closely with our hospitals as well. We encourage people to continue with their chemotherapies and that, so we work very closely with the hospitals.
Fantastic. And then, I mean, CARS, how long has CARS been opened?
We're open 4 years past on the 1st of March.
4 years past. I mean, in that time, you've helped in excess of 2,300 people.
Yeah.
What difference do you believe that CARS has made to those people's lives?
Well, everyone has said, every person that comes through the door, we would ask for an evaluation at the end, and each and every one of them has said it's been life-changing to them. We've had one client who said that cancer now no longer dominates their lives.
Because of CARS.
Because of CARS.
Because of CARS. Yeah. And then as well, I mean, we're talking about how you fund CARS, and sometimes it's not that easy. There's a lot of work involved in this. But something that may help you out is the 50,000 People's Million Appeal. Tell me a bit about this.
On Monday the 24th, we will go head-to-head with Titanic in Belfast. We have a chance of winning £50,000. The phone lines will open at 9 o'clock that morning, and they close at 12 o'clock that night. The number will come into the Daily Mirror that morning for who they would wish to vote for. It will also be on UTV Live that night, and it will be on the Big Lottery website. So the number will not come into any of that until Monday morning. We depend totally on votes. People can vote up to 10 times, and we would love that people would encourage their families and friends to vote for us. We get money from nowhere else, and we really, really depend on that money.
Wonderful. And how do they vote then?
First thing in the morning, 9 o'clock, the voting lines will open. So the number will be in the Daily Mirror, UTV Big Lottery, and it will be also on our website. It'll be in UTV Live that night, so they ring the number and they vote. Our project name is New Ways of Thinking.
Okay.
So please vote for CARS.
Absolutely, much needed. And what will that money go towards?
It'll go towards doing what we're doing and for the existing therapies that we're already doing, but we would also like to extend what we're doing for the clients, free of choice to the clients.
Absolutely. And then just finally, for anyone sitting at home who may be going through cancer at the moment or has a friend or family member that is, what would you advise them as the first step to get involved with Charis?
Just lift the phone, ring myself. It'll always be myself or Deborah, the administrator, they'll answer. We will talk them through it and we will have them up. There's no waiting list of Charis. Our number is 028 867 69217, and everyone from anywhere in Northern Ireland are very welcome. Their family members or anybody who's bereaved by cancer.
Wonderful, wonderful. And Margaret, I mean, you're listening here to everything that's being said, and you've first-hand experience in all of this.
I have indeed, yes.
So, Margaret, it was June 2012 when you were diagnosed with breast cancer.
That's right.
I want to take us back to before this time in your life.
Okay.
How would you describe this time?
Oh, up until June 2012, everything was grand. You know, I was just going along life quite merrily, not a care in the world. Got out of the shower, felt a lump, and went, oh. My grandmother, my 4 aunts, and my cousin all had breast cancer. So I sort of went, nah, this is something I sort of need to look into. Went to the doctor, and within 2 weeks I was seen by Craigavon, and I was diagnosed with breast cancer.
So all very quick then?
All
in that
very, very
period.
quick.
You were sitting there and the doctor told you that you have breast cancer. What was going through your mind at that time?
You know, there's so many different emotions, you know, because of the family history. There was obviously, you know, this dread, but there was no mention of terminal or anything else. So I sort of went, okay, I'm going to have to be the one to fight this and keep going. There was just then so many other things, emotions, thoughts went through my head. How am I going to tell my parents? How am I going to tell my brothers? What am I going to do about work? How am I going to cope financially? You know, just so many different things went through my head. It was just...
So it wasn't even yourself that you were thinking of here, it was the other people in your life.
No.
I mean, how did they respond to the news?
Oh, my parents were devastated, as were my entire family, you know. And the whole way through my cancer journey, I didn't talk about it. I'm only talking about it now because I want Charis to win the £50,000. But I didn't talk about it, and I certainly didn't tell anybody what was going on in my head or what it was making me feel or anything else. You know, I was just trying to stay positive about it.
I mean, that's hugely important. So you, following that, then went through, and correct me if I'm wrong here, 2 operations, 6 sessions of chemotherapy and 25 sessions of radiotherapy.
That's
Quite
correct.
a grueling process that you went through there. Tell me a bit about this time of your life.
From that day that I was diagnosed, you just step onto a roller coaster and your life is no longer your own. It's a constant, you know, going to the hospital, going to the doctor, getting bloods done, checking this, checking that, feeling sick. You know, chemotherapy obviously makes you better, but it makes you very sick while you're going through it. You get mouth ulcers, you feel so tired, you can't lift your head on the pillow. There's just a whole raft of things, and you just keep going and going with that. And you break it down. Well, I broke it down. The 6 sessions, you know, first one, well, that's that one down. Second one, I'm a third of the way through. Third one, halfway through, till you get to the end. Then you go for radiotherapy. It's every single day, and you have to go to Belfast for it. I personally got a lot of burns from the radiotherapy, which had to be treated then with creams and dressings and stuff, you know. And then the treatment stopped. And where you've been, and everybody's back and call, you know, doctors, hospitals, whatever, it all just stops. And you really do get a feeling of abandonment, that I'm alone now. And although the cancer has been treated, they've treated the cancer, they haven't treated me. You know, I felt very, very alone at the end of it.
And then during that time, you were very lucky because a person recommended to you about Charis.
Yes. Another girl who was also had breast cancer, she had been to Charis and she told me about it. And
what was your initial thoughts?
initial thoughts were, I don't know that this is going to help me, because she had said she was singing the praises of reflexology, and I sort of went, some woman rubbing my feet isn't really going to make me feel better about how I've coped with this cancer. I went up to Caris and I met Imelda, and as you said, it's definitely a one-to-one. We sat, we chatted about my situation, took down all the details. Imelda recommended reflexology. I went down and met my therapist, Noreen, and I can honestly say I never looked back.
I mean, you were obviously quite hesitant going up there
Oh,
at the
yeah.
start.
Yeah, definitely.
Preconceived ideas of what it may be. But following that then, a totally different attitude towards it.
Totally different attitude. It changed me so much. It made me, I say, Caris, give me space to start living my life again. And that's exactly what it done. You know, going through cancer, it changes your whole perspective on life, and your whole outlook on life. But you then sort of, you also stop living your life, if you know what I mean. It's all put on hold. And it's hard to get back over that step, to start going back out and living life and doing things. And
so up at Caris, I mean, Imelda was explaining that it's beautiful scenery and a very warm environment. How did you find it as a client up at Caris?
As you said, I come from Newry, so it's about an hour and 15 minutes drive. It meant nothing. That hour and 15 minutes was just, and as soon as you got there, there's a feeling of tranquility, serenity around the place. You go in, the staff all know your name. You're not, you know, they're not looking at a card going, Margaret McAteer. They're all going, hiya Margaret, come on in, have a cup of coffee, sit down, have a chat with them, go down, have your treatment. It's time purely for me.
Imelda was saying as well that some people may choose to try and forget about what they've been through, while others face it head on and try to seek treatment through that. How did you deal with that up in Caris?
I went in thinking this isn't going to, really help me. My therapist just put me at ease, told me that if I wanted to talk, I could talk. If I didn't have to. There were days when I didn't talk. There were days when I sat and cried with her. It just depended on the day and how I was feeling.
So whatever way you were feeling, Caris was there to support that.
That's exactly
regardless.
It. Caris just hold you in the palm of their hand. They just do what you need to be done. The hospitals all treat the cancer, but Caris looks at you as a person. They look at your needs, your family's needs. There's no mention of your cancer treatment. There's no needles, there's no drugs, there's no nothing.
And then you mentioned family as well.
Yep.
How did they feel about Caris?
My parents came to Caris and absolutely loved it. Couldn't get over just the warmness that there is in it. You know, it's definitely a family away from home.
What difference has Caris made in your life?
Well, for a start, I wouldn't be talking about my cancer only for Caris, and to encourage people to go to it, because it definitely makes such a change. You can start to experience all the joy of living again. You know, whenever you've got the cancer, it's to get through the day. It's to get through to the next treatment. It's to get, whenever you go to Caris, it's the focus is put back on you and what you need to do with your life and what you want to do with your life. And it just gave me the chance to start living again.
And then finally, for anyone who's watching at home and like you were hesitant at the start and maybe thinking that mightn't be for me, what would your message be to them?
Definitely go and try it. It's an hour and 15 minutes up the road. Imelda make you a cup of coffee if nothing else. Go and see it, and I can guarantee 2,300 people can't be wrong.
Can't be wrong. Well, thank you very much, Margaret, and thank you very much, Imelda, as
very
well.
much
and the
indeed.
best of luck for November the 24th.
Thank you very much indeed.
Morning, sunshine. Don't forget your book. And I'm gonna have some coffee, please.
Coffee.
Thank you.
Okay.
Have a good day.
morning. You'll see a bit of sun here. Planning on driving.
And remember, it's just a few days before the voting lines open, so tune in to UTV Live this coming Monday, the 24th of November, and show your support for Caris and the incredible people that have received their support. Well, that's all from us this week. We'll be back again next week when we'll be taking an insight into stillborns here in Northern Ireland, and we'll be meeting an incredible Newry woman who very tragically lost her baby 39 weeks into her pregnancy. A very tragic and inspirational story. I'll see you back here Friday evening at 7 p.m. See you then.